Phoenix. Phoenix is looking to add in a veteran point guard and Chris Paul. Who knows how that's going to happen? There's some trade packages like Kelly Oubre and Rubio. But do you guys think that Phoenix should look to add Chris Paul to pair with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton?
I like the move. I think it's a big upgrade from Ricky Rubio. I think it would probably make them a serious playoff contention for that 8th, 7th seed. I think Chris Paul would do what he did in OKC, only unlock a game in Devin Booker that we have yet to see. I think he'll help them young guys out there. And I think it would benefit DeAndre Ayton in a sense too. So I definitely like the move. I don't know how they're going to do it because Chris Paul is owed $44 million. So I don't know. They're going to have to give up.
Kelly Oubre's contract for Chris Paul works alone.
How? Oh, because they have cap.
Yeah, it works. But if they want to sign a free agent in free agency,
I mean,
it'd be smart to throw Rubio and
Rubio.
Oubre.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, that would make sense. So I like the move. I think it would be a big plus for the young guys to definitely get better.
I think
and Monty Williams coaches there. Chris Paul and Monty Williams used to play together. Yeah,
I think it makes a lot of sense for the Suns.
Who's to coach him?
Yeah, coach. Sorry.
I don't really like it for the Thunder personally. I think that they could get a better package maybe for Chris Paul or keep him around because you see
pick
how
does the Suns have? Sorry to interrupt.
The 10th.
If they could get the 10th pick, maybe that's the 10th pick would more than likely be attached. It's something you have to consider, but I like what Chris Paul did in Oklahoma City, and I would consider keeping him around for another year with that young talent and help them grow because they are doing, the season they had, they've made themselves a desirable location once again, I would think, based on the success they've had and what they are building there. And, they're kind of taking the approach of let's flip Chris Paul. Well, he's still got trade value. Get that 10th pick, build up our assets. I love it for Phoenix because we saw Chris Paul is the perfect guy that you want in your building when you're trying to establish a culture. He went to Oklahoma City. People didn't expect anything out of them. They thought that they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league. And not only did he play at a great level all year long, but he elevated the guys around him. He made Shai Gilgeous-Alexander so much better. He would challenge him to shooting competitions after practice. Even guys like Lou Dort, who came and you didn't even know his name at the beginning of the season, and you see the role he had in the playoffs. Any young guy that's playing with Chris Paul is taking a master class on NBA basketball. It's the guy that I would want helping build my young talent, mold them. And you look at the Suns right now, coming off the 8-0 bubble. I personally think they would have been a playoff team if DeAndre Ayton didn't get suspended for the first 20 games of the season. They have a lot of young talent in that building, and Chris Paul would be the perfect guy to mold that group into a playoff team. And I think the Suns are in a different place than the Hawks, who we just talked about. I think the Suns should be striving to make the playoffs because
it's been a long time coming.
They need something right now with Devin Booker. And if you make the playoffs with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, it makes you a location that another star would look at and say, that's somewhere where maybe I go. We create a big three. We could be a championship contender. And I think that making the playoffs would be a huge step for them. And I think Chris Paul could get them there.
The Thunder have to trade Chris Paul. They have to trade him now. Mm-hmm. They can't wait a year. Part of the reason why Chris Paul's trade value is so high is because they made the playoffs. He's 35. Who knows if he's going to get hurt next year? He gets hurt next year, his trade value is over. It's done. Nobody's the Thunder have leverage right now to get a first-round pick for a 35-year-old Chris Paul. And if we're being honest, I don't think Phoenix should trade the 10th pick at all. You don't trade the 10th pick for Chris Paul at all. But what I will say is this, you can trade a future first-round pick for Chris Paul, that's fine. But from the Thunder's perspective, Danilo's a free agent. You have a hole at small forward / power forward at the forward spot.
No, you don't.
How?
If you're banking on Darius Bazley.
Okay, but I'm saying
I know what he's about to say. Darius Bazley would not even play a role. But they don't finish. But they
don't have a small forward. Like
I'm just saying, if you're banking on his.
Okay, I like Bazley, but I'm just saying they have a hole at this forward spot, regardless if Gallinari leaves or not. They don't even have Terrence Ferguson was starting at the 3, so they have a hole at 3, right? If you're looking at all these trade packages from the Knicks, right? Who can they give you? Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and a pick? Who can these teams give you? Phoenix can give you Oubre, who averaged 19 and 6, who becomes your instant starter at small forward. And you talk about Chris Paul making guys better. Phoenix got better this year because of Rubio. Chris Paul is better than Rubio, we know that, but is it going to be a significant drop-off like going from Chris Paul to DJ Augustine? No, you're going from Chris Paul to Rubio, a guy who averaged 13 and 10. 13 and 9, I say 13 and 10 basically. He's going to make Shai better. He's going to make Oubre better. He's going to make Bazzi better and Adams. Rubio is a floor general. I know he didn't pan out because he got drafted ahead of Steph Curry and, whole dilemma there, but he's a great point guard floor general. And they're not going to be tied to them long term. So if the perfect best case scenario for OKC, get Rubio, take over that starting point guard role. You still have Dennis Schroeder off the bench. You have a guy averaging 19 and 6. You don't have to re-sign Gallinari, and your drop-off isn't massive going into next year. Your guys still become better, and you have future picks. Like, I don't think the Thunder should be trying to get a massive haul of picks. You already have that. Just get players that can play.
That and get that big contract out the way for future references.
Are you saying that even if they don't get the 10th overall pick, they should do the deal?
Yeah, look, it's the 2021 draft, right? Or the 2020 draft.
Yeah.
If they give me a 2022 first-round pick, 2021 first-round pick.
No, you get the 2021 first-round pick.
Regardless, if they offer me whichever, I'll take it. Whatever. If I can get a first-round pick for Chris Paul, I'll take it. Along with the guy who's averaging 20 and 6, basically, and 13 and 9. Like, I think that's a no-brainer. Kelly Oubre is the best player the Thunder can get in a trade package from any team. Like, what other teams are looking for Chris Paul and they can give you a better player than Kelly Oubre?
Milwaukee.
Who is that player?
I was just throwing out a team.
Okay, Milwaukee. Would you rather have Oubre or Bledsoe on your team? Especially if you can get Oubre and Rubio.
Well, Milwaukee would have to give up somebody else, essentially, because their cap is terrible.
Like, Kelly Oubre's what, 23, 24, 19 and 6. He has a ton of potential.
Yeah.
Like, he's about it. Like, he's entering free agency a year from now. So
What's Rubio's contract looking like? He's still
Rubio,
good?
I think he probably has 3 years left or 2 to 3 years left, but he's not getting paid Chris Paul money.
Yeah, no.
He's getting paid 13, 14 million. So I think a trade with the Suns would be the best case scenario. And I think OKC is playing it safe and the Phoenix Suns are taking the most gamble because they don't even have a bench.
Yeah.
So they take Chris Paul. You can sign a guy, but that's the only guy you're going to sign realistically.
Right here.
And I just wanted to say that when...
Oh, their cap would be gone. They only have 20 mil right now.
The Suns?
Yeah. So they'll probably be gone.
When I said the Thunder should consider looking elsewhere, I didn't consider the Suns giving the 10th overall pick in the trade. I don't think that is that. I personally, I haven't heard much about the discussions. Were they discussing the 10th overall pick in that deal?
I don't think.
If they could get the 10th pick, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no-brainer.
And if you could get multiple future picks, I would say it's a no-brainer.
I don't think,
like
it's
you said, Oubre and Rubio.
I think Rubio and a 10th pick if they're lucky is okay.
I think Rubio, Oubre, and a future first is enough for Chris Paul. You don't go over that.
I think that they
don't be greedy.
I almost think that they could get a better deal somewhere else from a more desperate contending team. But maybe the Bucks.
Oubre and Rubio shoot 35% from 3. Rubio shot 36. So he's not the bad shooter that he once was. Yeah. OKC won't have a major drop-off.
So who will be the leader on OKC?
The leader, I
think Shea takes that step.
the leader floor general would be Rubio. I think you're hoping, Shea takes a step, averages 20 this year. Oubre, he'll dominate the ball, so he'll probably average 20. He averaged 19 and 6
You still have a guy
in
the locker room like Steven Adams, who's been a good locker room presence his whole career.
Lou Dort, one of the better perimeter defenders in the league. So
it would be fun. They would be fun to watch, even without a superstar. They would be fun to watch, and then obviously they have an insane haul of picks over the next decade, and I think they would have a lot of room and cap still, right?
Nah, I think
they have Steven Adams big contract.
I think they'll be okay
Rubio
though down the line.
Oubre, but down the line,
because they're not going to sign a star free agent.
Yeah.
They're banking on the 15,
draft. So I think they'll be okay
but,
later.
Down the road, they will be in a good cap situation.
Because Schroeder and Adams ends the same year.
Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
And my name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to. because it helps us grow. We're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.